So hello and welcome to ATech. My name is Akshay, and today in this video tutorial we will see how .NET finds assemblies during program executions. Okay, so we have discussed about this and I think I have told you guys that how .NET finds assemblies during program execution, but we will see today in practical how it does that. Okay, so for that let's jump directly into the Visual Studio. Okay, so here it is the same example we have been using. So what I will do, I will add one class library project here. Okay, so new project, I will choose class library, create. Okay, so we will have one method here. Okay, so one static method which will return string and that will be public because we want to use this method in the project where we will give the reference of this project. Okay, so name will be get message, any name you want to give. I'm just trying to show you something, so for that I need to create one method here. Okay, so what it will return, a simple message, maybe message from class library 2. Okay, basically a simple message from class library 2. Okay, so it has a class library 2 project name, so that's why I'm using this message, nothing, no other reason. Okay, so what I will do, I will save this, I will compile this, build this. Okay, and now what I will do, I will add the reference of that class library project in this project. Okay, so all this I have explained you guys how already, that how we can add reference of one project to another. Okay, so for that just check out my previous videos. Okay, so I have added this project's reference here. Okay, now again I will rebuild this. Okay, build succeeded, and we know where we can find that assemblies. Open folder in File Explorer, debug netcore 3.1. Okay, so now as you can see here, the assembly of console app1.dll, the exe of console app1.dll, as well as we have given this class library 2's project in this console app1's project, so this assembly is also present in the bin folder of this console app1 project. Okay, so now if you run this from here, okay, so it will run, it is running successfully. So now what I will do, I will just take this assemblies from here and I'll copy this assembly in some new folder. Okay, so I will go to any folder, in a random folder on desktop. I will find some folders. Okay, so here it is one new folder. In that folder I will copy and paste, I will paste that files here. Okay, and if you try to run this now, okay, it is not running. Why? I will tell you. Again just go to those assemblies folder, bin debug netcore 3.1. okay, so for those assemblies, those files to run, we need this file also. Why? I will tell you that. First, let me copy this and I will paste that here. And now if you run this file, that is exe file, it is running successfully. Now why this file be required? This console f1.runtime configuration. So whatever the configuration of runtime, it is present in this file. So what framework, what target framework, what is the version it requires, that those assemblies requires, this all this information is in this file. So that's why we need that file. Okay, so now whatever we have done so far, from this how we can tell that this .NET runtime finding these assemblies at runtime. Okay, so what it basically does, .NET runtime check the manifest file of this assembly during program execution, and that file contains all the information of dependent assemblies, the versions. Okay, so that I will show you. Okay, so for that, let's go to developer command prompt. I will run this as an administrator. Okay, and again I have shown you guys that how we can see the IL code of the assembly. So for check out my previous videos for that is ILDASM and ILSM videos. So I will open whatever file I want to see the IL code of. Okay, so I want to see this assembly console app 1.dll. Okay, so now if you see the manifest of this assembly, okay, and again I have promised to you guys one thing in one of my previous videos, that I will tell you everything about this manifest file, that I will explain what this public key token, what this extern means. So what is this public key token? I have already told you in my previous video. Okay, so you can check that out video. And what this extern means, that this assembly is dependent on this system assembly. So this extern indicates that this assembly is dependent on this system assembly. Okay, now one thing you might be wondering, that there is no information about this class library 1 project here. Okay, so this class library 2 project, actually there is no information about this project is dependent on this class library project. So why is that so? I will tell you. Because we have added the reference of this class library 2 project here, but we haven't used this class library project in this project. Okay, so what I will do, I will go to programs and I will just use one directive that is using this class library 2 project. Okay, we can find this class library 2 project in this using directory, because we have added this class library 2 project reference in this project. Okay, so that is we are able to find this using directory here. Okay, so now instead of this hard-coded message, now what I will do, I will have one variable here, that is name or maybe message. Okay, and what I will do, in this class library 2 project there is one class, that is class 1. Okay, if you hover your mouse here, then you can see this class present in this class library 2 project. Okay, and in this class we have created one method, that is get message. Okay, and now instead of this hard-coded message, I will use this message here. Okay, and I will run this project so once to see if everything is working fine. Okay, it is printing that message from class library 2. Okay, and now I will rebuild this again. Okay, and I will copy this again from here. and instead of these old files I will paste that here. I will replace those files. Okay, so it is being used by this manifest file. I will close this. I will try again. Okay, so let me just copy this again. I will close this as well. Okay, and I will paste that here again. I will basically replace these files. Okay, and let's just again use ALDASM, and now if we open this console app 1.dll and the manifest of this file, you will find the dependency of this class library 2 project. Okay, so basically it is dependent on this class library 2 project having this version 1.0.0.0. okay, I will show you this manifest file. So what everything this file has. Okay, I have explained this much code to you. Okay, now again if you find something here, that is this custom instance void system.runtime. okay, this custom instance void system.reflection. If you recollect from my previous video, I have shown you in that assembly info class how you can sign an assembly with public key pair. So for that you have to use that assembly key file attribute. So for that assembly key file attribute, I have shown you how you can add that attribute in a assembly info class file. Okay, so in that class file I have used one system.reflection namespace, and after using that namespace I was able to add that assembly key file attribute there. Okay, so that information is also here. Okay, so basically what attributes it is using, that is it is using this debuggable attribute, complex compilation relaxation attribute, runtime compatible attributes, runtime compatibility attributes. Okay, this assembly company attribute, assembly configuration attribute, file version, information, product and title. Okay, all these things I have shown you in my previous video. Okay, and that's the same information which is contained in this manifest file. Okay, so that information I have shown you in the project, in the application, in the Visual Studio, but that same information it is present in this manifest file as well. Okay, so and this is again additional information about the assembly itself. Okay, so module, image base, file alignment, stack reserve, etc, etc. Okay, so we don't have to bother about this file much. Okay, so anyway, only compiler need this file to find out the dependent assemblies during program execution. Okay, so that's how compiler founds, that is CLR founds, that is .NET runtime founds the assemblies, that is dependent assemblies during program execution from this manifest file. Okay, so now again what CLR does, CLR tries to find out the dependent assembly first into GAC. Okay, so what is GAC? That's also I have explained in my previous video, so check out that video for that. Okay, so CLR tries to find out assemblies first into the GAC, but what type of assemblies? It searches only for the strong named assembly. If an assembly is a strong named assembly, then and then compiler will bother to search that assembly first into GAC. Okay, so for that I will demonstrate that for you guys. Okay, so don't worry, and to justify that I will show you something. Okay, and before that, again compiler will also not bother to check weak named assemblies file version. Okay, if the assembly is a weak named assembly, then compiler will not check an assembly's version. Okay, so that I will also show you. Okay, so what I will do, I will close this. Now we know this application is running fine. Okay, it has dependency of this class library 2.dll, and we have just seen the assembly version of this assembly, that is 1.0.0. okay, now what I will do, I will just go to this class library projects property. Okay, and I have This also I have explained in my previous video. One of my previous video, you have to check that to uh, how we can alter assembly versions or how we can change assembly versions. Okay, so what I will do here, I will change that from 1 to 2. Okay, I will save this and I will just build this project. Okay, that is class library 2 project. Okay, let me clean this first. So it will remove all the assemblies, and now I will build this. So it will generate a fresh assembly. Okay, and I will go to folder in File Explorer. I will go to bin. Okay, and now what I will do, I will take this assembly, copy this, and I will paste that here. I will replace this file. Okay, and we knew that this class library 2, the old class library 2.dll has a version 1.0.0, and also this console app 1.dll DLL's manifest contains the information that it depends on the class library 2 project having version 1.0.0. But just now this class library 2.dll we have pasted here. This class library 2.dll has version 2.0.0. For that I will show you. Okay, just I'll assume this. Okay, open the file we have just pasted here. Okay, this class library 2 project, class library 2 projects assembly. Okay, as you can see the version is 2.0.0.0. Okay, and now what I will do, sorry, we shouldn't have closed this. Okay, so open console app1.dll. Okay, and in this manifest file, this console app 1 is still dependent on this class library 2 having version 1.0.0. But as we just paste this file here, and this has assembly version 2.0.0, but if I run this, it will still work. Okay, so from this it is clear that compiler will not check file version for weak named assemblies. Okay, but it will check file version for strong named assembly, and that I will also show you. Okay, so what I will do now, I will sign this assembly with private public key, where basically I will sign an assembly with strong name. Okay, so that also in detail I have shown in my previous video. Please check out that video, because for that we need one public key pair file also, and that we have already generated, so I will use that file only. Okay, we have one private public key pair file. Okay, so it is present in my C drive. I will go to that. Okay, so this is the file, and what I will do, I will just create assembly info class. That's also I have explained you why we have to do this. So please guys, I am again repeating this. You have to check that video first in order to understand this better. Okay, okay, I will get rid of this code. I will use system dot reflection and assembly key file, and in the constructor of that attribute I will paste that file name here with the location it contains in. Okay, with double backslash, because we have to escape this backslash because it has special meaning in this in double inverted comma. Okay, I will save this and I will rebuild this whole solution here. Okay, by rebuilding this solution, these two projects gets built at a time. Okay, so now what I will do, I will go to this projects folder, okay, console app 1, and we will find all the assemblies here. Okay, I will take this and this. Okay, I will copy it from here and I will replace these files. Okay, again we have to close this because it is using this file. Okay, I will paste it here again, replace these files. Okay, I will just run this exe first. It is working fine. Okay, but now as this class library 2.dll is a strong name assembly, and now if I do something like this, if I go to this class library 2's project, it is opened here. Okay, and I will change this assembly version from here. Okay, and let me first show you that this console app 1 project is dependent on which assembly. Okay, so we will see this manifest. Okay, now this console app 1 project is dependent on this class library 2 project, which is strongly named. Okay, if it has generated this public key token, so by this we can say that this is a strong name assembly. Okay, that's also I have explained in my previous videos. Okay, so if it has this public key token, and now this has version 2.0.0. okay, and this assembly is dependent on this class library 2, which is strong name assembly and has a version of 2.00. okay, and now what I will do, okay, so I have already changed that from 2 to 1. Okay, and now I will save this. I will rebuild this. Okay, I will go to folder, I will copy this file and paste that here. Basically I will replace that file. Okay, and now if you try to run this exe, it will fail. Okay, so there is an unhandled exception, system.io.file not found exception. Okay, so file load exception. Okay, so one and the same thing. So could not load file or assembly class library 2 version 2.0.0. okay, with this public key token. Okay, so now this is just because this assembly is a strong name assembly, compiler will check the file, the assembly version. Okay, for weak named assemblies, compiler will not bother to check that. Okay, so it is justified what I have just said and what I have shown you. Okay, and now I have shown you that how .NET runtimes find these assemblies during program execution. First it will find out the GAC folder if and only if the assembly is strong named assembly, and if that assembly is not found there, then what compiler will do, it will check project's config file. Okay, so now this project doesn't contains any config file, but typically a project contains a configuration file, and in that configuration file also we can mention the location in which the assembly is generated. Okay, and if it is not present there also, and if our config file, our project's config file doesn't contains the assembly information, then what compiler will do, it will check the dependent assembly in the same folder in which this exe lives. Okay, so whatever folder this exe present in, only in that folder compiler will check the dependent assembly also. Okay, so now we know how this .NET runtime environment finds assemblies during program execution. Okay, So we will see that in summary, so you will understand better. Okay. So what it says, .NET checks assembly manifest during execution to find dependent assemblies, and it will check name of the assembly from that manifest file. Okay, I have shown you the manifest file. Okay, now it will first tries to find an assembly in a gap. Okay, and if it is a strong named assembly, otherwise it will not even bother to check there. And if it's not there, it will check configuration file if present in the application. Okay, to find location information if provided. And if that information is not provided, that is in the application configuration file, then it will lastly check the directory in which the executable present. Okay, that also I have just shown you. Now .NET runtime, the third point, .NET runtime environment will not check version for weak named assembly. That's also I have shown you. Okay, so now that's it for today, and thank you.